want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne, living in...
It's Richard Hart, rumored billionaire and bidet service technician. I'm here to install your bidet, sir.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G.
Here we go. Look at that technology right there. It's gonna wash your butt, and your butt's gonna be clean. Let's get to work. Woo! Ooh, doggy. Wow, this thing actually works great. Well, anyway, Richard Hart here, rumored to be a billionaire, installing a bidet for someone that I love. And, it seems to work just fine. It only cost $100, and well, I don't see any leaks. So, clean butts for everybody.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne, living in...
Hey, you guys, it's John here. Crypto Compassion. It's Tuesday, episode 41 of the shit show. We're talking crypto. We're talking VibraVille with VibraFinance. We also have our boy Facing Reality in the house. I understand that these guys put together a little project called Morpheus also, so we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to tee up this video of VibraFinance before I pull everyone up. Welcome to the show.
In a cozy room, lights dimmed low. King Pooie's chillin', let the good vibes flow. Charts on the screen flicker and glow. Counting my coins while the soft beats roll. Sipping on tea, let the worries fade. Riding the waves in this crypto trade. Wallets filling up, got that sweet sound. In the heart of a hustle, peace can be found. King Pooie, king of crypto dreams. In this digital world, nothing's as it seems. With each gentle beat, let the worries fade. Living life slow in a crypto parade.
Nice. Let's get this party started.
Konnichiwa!
What's going on? Road noise.
Road noise. Need some noise cancellation there, buddy. I just got my new Bluetooth.
What's up, Vibra? What's up, Facing?
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm a little disappointed that Lindsay's not here. I know she had to work. She had something come up, but I was really wanting to talk about that sourdough. I was just talking to my wife about that, and also the whipped tallow. So, dude, I finally get it on. But okay, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, man, it's awesome stuff. Freddie Quotes is now baking bread, so
Yeah.
it's starting to spread. Man. People are loving it. Now we got the freeze dryer. It's easy to freeze dry them and just send them out, and you can just bring them back to life.
I need some of that stuff. I need the tallow,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I need the sourdough because my wife loves sourdough. Does it take? Does that stuff last a while? You just keep it in the freezer and then you take it out when you want to make it?
No, we got to get it like per use. Like live out in the country, so there's a farm stand 5 minutes away, and on the weekends you can go in and get whatever you want.
Nice.
All right.
So, yeah, man. Well, I guess let's tee up first before we get into VibraVille. Tell us a little bit about Morpheus, because I know I know it's doing some things, and it's cooking.
Yeah, you could say that again. Yeah. Morpheus arose just out of a collaboration. People that love to build, love to give back to the community, try to provide utility and value. And yeah, it slowly grew on the Titan-X ecosystem because we truly love the ethos, the way it was built, the way it was set up, the way the community is standing behind it. And we were like, you know what, we need to try something here. And within a short period of time, when the right people come together, you come up with something like this. And yeah, Morpheus literally just arose out of pretty much nothing within 2 weeks. And then the building really started. And yes, it takes a lot of time to actually get to the point. And yeah, last 28th we launched, and it's looking really, really, really well. Yeah, I can't complain whatsoever.
Great date to launch, the 28th there. And then
Yeah.
Tell me the role in which Dragon X is kind of incorporated with Morpheus and how that plays into it.
Yeah, so we decided to do to build on top of Dragon X. Pretty much, it is built on Titan X, but the way we saw that Dragon X was supporting Titan X to give it extra value, other value propositions. Making the whole deflationary thing a thing, we were like, yeah, we need to support that one. So we decided to build on top of Dragon X.
Nice.
Or at least do our tokenomics linked to Dragon X. So yeah, we send like 10% to the Dragon X vault that would support the ecosystem. We initially wanted to do 20%, but Eric was like, dude, that's way too much. Just do half and do something else with the other half. So eventually we decided to do a participation bonus. So everybody that was minting Morpheus, for every 100 million Morpheus, you would get a ticket. And after the 14-day mint cycle, we choose 10 wallets that were randomly generated through the blockchain with Link. And then 10 winners came out of it. And yeah, that was a big success. We had at least one person that we know that won. So that was freaking amazing. So that was really exciting. We had a guy that literally bought one ticket for 100 million and won 22 billion Titan X. That was freaking epic. That was,
Wow. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that got me on a cloud for at least a week.
And I remember you talking about that too. You wanted it to be like some just like obscure, like small dude that like got into it, where it wasn't the guy that had like 100 tickets, you know what I mean? Or something like that. That just that's what it's all about, man. That's very cool. And then yeah, I mean there's a lot going on with you guys as far as like, you know, the reserves and everything that's going to be able to be thrown back into it to buy and burn. And what's that look like as far as like the future? Because I remember there was kind of like a longer time frame in which that kicks in, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Did all the tickets get claimed?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't really a claim, so it was automatic. So you really did not have to do anything. So the wallet was picked as a winner, and manually the funds were sent to that wallet. So literally nobody had to do anything. You just participated once, and if you won, it will automatically be deposited in your wallet. And yeah, the way that we set up the whole buy and burn structure of Morpheus, we wanted to make sure that it had longevity and that we could support the protocol for as long as we are physically capable of. So we had one thing that we could adjust. Everything is immutable. Everything is audited, perfect. The only control we have is the amount of buy and burn that we are allowed to do. So we have the option between 1% to 10%.
Okay.
And since launch, it's been on 1%, and we did it from the dollar value and not the token count. This way, we would retain the amount of Titan X that is within the buy and burn protocol for as long as we can, and hoping for the price appreciation to make our buy and burn actually shine.
Yeah.
So for us, it didn't make sense to use our buy and burn quickly early on, only to create a pump and dump chart. That make no sense to us.
Right.
So we choose to use our experience from how price appreciation works. It was the same thing with Hex. Richard Hart was always really clear. The most amount of money you're going to gain is going to come from the price appreciation and not the staking. So we took that into consideration and thought, you know what, if we can maintain that Titan X for as long as we can, while it appreciates in price, we have a way higher buy and burn potential in the future. So currently, I think there's about $900,000 worth of Titan X within the buy and burn protocol.
Nice.
And that can
10x
only,
that, 10x
exactly,
that, 20x.
exactly. Within the next few weeks or months, when everything really starts moving and Titan X does a 10x, we will have about $10 million into a buy and burn.
Wow.
And they can actually really support the chart and support the community, because our main goal was to, one, give back, and two, we all learned from our previous ecosystem. I mean, we've been together for a long time. We all want to win.
Yeah,
it's way more fun to win together than be alone on the top. So we really made that the primary goal, to make sure that we could actually add value instead of extract value.
that's amazing. Hey guys, I gotta run in. I gotta run into work, but thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you guys and being a part of this community, and everything you're doing for the Titan X system is pretty epic. Really grateful you decided to build on Dragon X. But anyway, looking forward to everything that you guys are doing, and really grateful that you're here. Thank you very much. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got an aggregator coming probably pretty soon, so that's going to be extremely bullish for us, at least.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. It's burning $1,000 every half hour right now. So that's four. What's that? 48 times a day. So once we do a 10x from here, and we're burning $10,000 every half hour, that'll start to add up, and then the aggregator will be huge. And then I think what people don't see coming is the migration over to Pulsechain.
Yep.
I think I was just looking, it was $30 to do a swap on Uniswap right now. So that people to provide liquidity to start doing stuff, you're going to be spending way too much money. So I think the migration is going to start to happen. Goo God's already bridging Alien X over there like crazy. I know the dude is working on Janus, so he's trying to. So I'm just trying to link people up. I know Hexray just launched anti-gravity, so he should be pairing up with Anki, getting down with Goo God, and all of us, working together, pairing up our coins, and that it benefits everyone. So there's multiple ways that we can all win in this.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited to bring, I think, Morpheus. There was a huge pool over on Pulsechain, but we don't know who it was, and there was $100,000 in there, and the permanent loss was crazy. I would assume that was why, because I did it. I bought some on Pulsechain, and then it went up a bunch, so I sold back some and then bridged it over. It's like a no-brainer,
right?
And bro, I think that's people are going to be sleeping on Titan X and Pulsechain kind of working together. I hope.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think you'll get like a little bit of resistance from the maxis, what have you, but it's just the right play. You know what I mean? Just to build these two like powerhouses, in which we know Pulsechain is going to be a freaking powerhouse. Kind of transitioning from that like winning together ethos, that kind of leads towards the idea of VibraVille, and that when everyone's winning and they're in a situation where there's an abundance, you guys have talked about the idea of this, I don't want to say like off-grid type living, but maybe it is, in the sense that, you have the ability to be off-grid, but it's more of like almost like a compound, right? I mean, tell me about this.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a compound. I call it more homesteading.
You're right.
Anything. Okay. And right now I
would call it a compound, but yes, you a homestead, me a compound.
Yes. Well, it's probably starts
I mean, you got goats and chickens and animals and stuff. I mean, I think you kind of think more farm than a Ruby Ridge type situation.
Right.
Yep.
This isn't a Waco, Texas thing, right?
Yeah,
correct. I mean,
the farm is up top, but the bunker's down below.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Or in the mountain, we got to get creative.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about being just self-sustainable and therefore uncontrollable. If we look into the world, the only reason why we are even indulging all the nonsense that is going on right now in the world is because we are dependent on it.
Right.
And that's the only leverage they have. So as soon as you go along with the mainstream, they will say, I will cut off your power, or I cut off your food supply, or I will cut off your insurance, or I will cut off your freedom of movement, whatever it is. So as soon as you start becoming self-sufficient, being responsible for your own food, for your own energy, for pretty much everything, you can create a village that is uncontrollable, because they could never take anything away from you for you to align with them. So that's my sole reason. So independency is actually true freedom, even though society and school will teach you that's a lower way of living, and that you need to achieve a goal, and that you need to work hard, and that you need to educate yourself just to realize that by the time you're 70 and going on retirement, you never got one step closer to that carrot that they held in front of you when you were 18.
Right.
And instead of us as parents actually doing something about it, we literally tell to our kids, you know what? I spent 40 years of my life trying to work my ass off, trying to achieve a goal that society has set for me. I did not achieve it. And without giving your kids that knowledge, you just kick them out the door and say, you know what? I couldn't achieve it. Now you try for the next 50 years. Make it make sense.
Right. Yeah, that system seems very insane. Like, you're expecting the different result from doing the same behavior, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Doing the same shit over and over and expecting a different result. Yeah.
I know alongside with VibraVille there, I know that Randy Hilarski's also talked about doing a similar situation here down in Panama, where
plantations.
Yeah, like a homestead where everyone gets like 5 acres out there and just lives a life of abundance, as a like-minded individuals coming together and just building family.
Their whole goal is to literally destroy the nuclear family and the family structure, and most importantly, belief. Because let's face it, it's our belief that makes us succeed. It's our belief in Bridget Hart. It's our belief in the code. It's our belief in immutability. All these belief system is what drives us forward. So why not align all our belief systems together and actually start thriving?
Yes.
So what is so I know Freddie's working on what is that, to become a statesman or a non-citizen of the corporation of the United States? What is?
Well, it's more or less getting your straw man back.
I was gonna say, the straw man videos that you watch and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. But something, of that nature, to decouple from the corporation, and then to have a homestead, to be really self-sufficient and, paying whatever the taxes, depending on your country or state that you believe in, but having a choice in that. But, it'd be something down the road. We'll see. He's a great, we'll see how it's going. We need to follow up with him and see where he is down the rabbit hole, and how that affects, like your property taxes versus paying regular sales tax. Like, can you still depend on the fire department if you're not paying property taxes, right?
Yes.
I think there's different nuances there, and you got to be careful a little bit. Like, can your kid go to school if you're completely just, I'm not paying any taxes? Like,
Right.
You can't not pay your taxes. Like, even if you do this, like, you can't not pay property tax, or your shit's gone. Like, there'll be a lien. Like, that just is not even an option here. You got to pay your taxes. But what it is like, I think it's like you're a foreign national. So basically you have your name, and then when you get mail, if you notice, sometimes your name will be in all caps.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes your name will be spelled like one capital for your first and last name. Well, the one in all caps is like your corporation name or something.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with it, but I don't really know any like really rich people that complain about the tax code and pretty much figured out ways to borrow for 1%, you know, write everything off, put it in a trust, you know, CRT, you know, start an LLC. You know, there's so many things you can do that I'm going down that road. So I mean, I'll watch and see how it goes for Freddie, but I don't want to deal with like I'll pay a little bit for convenience. Like I don't care. I'm not trying to be like a anarchist here. Like, you know, I think just getting off the grid and getting out into the country, your taxes will be way less. And then you build your homestead, your food bills now pretty much gone, and you just start going from there. And like, I realize it quick when you have a bunch of apples and fruit around you. Now you can dry them, you can sell them, there's just so many more things.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
exactly. And like for the kids can sell stuff and they can bake with it. Like it's just all around beneficial. And it's like we got so far away from that. We need to, like, someone's got to do it. Like it's not for everyone, but you know, if you want like a thriving community, like I don't know, I don't trust organic meat from the grocery store anymore. Like I don't want to eat that shit. After getting stuff from farms now, and you still go buy the best organic meat, it's garbage. It really is. And it takes a long time to realize that.
Correct.
Yeah. Like once you like, for the simple fact, like once you go elk with elk meat, you know, you're like, God damn, the store stuff is shit. You know, at least at a minimum, maybe go buy a quarter cow from a farmer, or you know, procure a cow from that avenue instead of the store processed crap, you know, for sure.
Exactly. So like so like homeschooling, we have a little homeschool. We already have like a Christian homeschool program that is in the Bertaria Times app, which Owen Benjamin and what he's doing there. So they already have a whole program set up. So I'm sure we could get the lectures or get the agenda, whatever it is, like, but having someone,
curriculum,
a couple moms that ran the homeschooling, and then there's, you know, they did that part, and then we have chickens and goats, someone else has the beef, someone else has the dairy cows, and then, you know, someone's like super handy, and that way, you know, all of us are there, and it's like we all have stuff we like to do, stuff that's fun. It's I don't know, bro. It's not going to get cheaper at the store, and there's not going to be less poison in that shit moving forward. I just don't think so.
Yeah, I'll tell you something funny because people instantly go to, but then I don't have insurance, then I don't have proper schooling for my kids. People need to realize the reason we are in this fucking shithole is because of the insurance and the schooling. So why would you even want to send your kids there? They are literally the reason we are in this fucking shithole.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I take my own as an example, in my lifetime, I paid over $1 million in insurances. Do you know how much I claimed? 30 G's.
How much?
30 G's I got back from my insurance for things that I claimed.
Right.
I paid over $1 million to them in my lifetime.
Jeez.
It's all a scam. Same with the banking system, saving your money, it's all a scam. It's only going down in value. And still we keep on supporting that nonsense, thinking that we get it. And this is what I'm saying about that dependability. They create the narrative to make you believe that you could not live without their dependency. And that's false. You would literally thrive the moment you unplug the matrix.
Agreed.
It's true, bro. It's hard for people to even see it though. Like even you just saying that insurance is the problem, sending your kids to have somebody else raise them basically is insane. But it takes you not being in that. So you have to step back from it and like disengage. The normal person is not going to understand that. It takes you disengaging, stop watching TV for a month. Like you got to do certain things to just step back and be like, whoa, what is going on here? And if not, everything is so perfectly there for you to just fall right into the trap of all the materialism, the movie stars, celebrities, just like the mainstream nonsense.
But even the medical system, I can't believe when it was exactly, but it was somewhere in the 50s or early 60s. There was a demonstration or an uprising for the medical staff. They wanted to have more money and all the yada yada. They literally went on a strike for a week. So for a week long, the hospitals were literally unoccupied. Nobody would get service. Guess what? The death rate plummeted 98%.
Jeez.
Wow.
This is recorded facts. So they shut down the hospital and the death rate plummeted 89% in that week by closing down the hospital. Let that sink. And this hasn't changed. It only accelerated. The most cause of death is the hospital. Literally.
Yeah, after poisoning yourself from the shit out of boxes,
Exactly.
soda, all the fast food, like that shit is so bad for you, bro. It literally, like fast food and seed oils and that stuff is the worst thing you can do to your body.
Yep.
Well, it's amazing what you know, like you look at Europe, right? Europe bans a number of different ingredients out of things, but yet good old US, you know, like, hey,
give
why
it to
is
them.
everybody obese? You know, like
They will take it.
it's money, man. You know, it's the lobbyists and everything. It's just ridiculous. We sell our souls. I mean, we really do here. It's crazy. What a conundrum.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
like,
they
it's
call that.
changing.
They call it slow kill. You know what I mean? Kind of a slow kill method, and you know they don't want to kill you too fast.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Right. That's why they really want to stop the meth or the fentanyl, right? You know, they don't want to lose the people. You know, like hey, we gotta slow this shit down. Insurance isn't getting their piece. You know, they gotta walk. Fuck.
They are so good in social conditioning and social structures. And we see it with the last presidency. This time it backfired. They created they used all these celebrities to promote one candidate. This time it backfired. People are seeing it now.
Yeah.
But you got to realize this has been going on from the moment you've been born. This is nothing new.
Yep. No, it's the truth, man. You know, but people get caught in the rat race because, I mean, nowadays it takes 2 household incomes to survive. But then if you know, and then private school is really expensive. But yet, you're like both parents need to work. You would love to do private or homeschool, but yet you can't afford for one parent to stay home, nor can you afford a private school, which you know more times than not is better than a public. But you know, but that's really expensive. I mean, it's just a vicious cycle. So hence, here we all are trying to find financial freedom, right? You know, like we're all trying to taste the same thing.
Exactly.
There's more than enough to go around here. We know what's at stake. We know what's in the pipeline. You know, like just you know, be nice and cordial and courteous and welcoming to the new people coming in and educate the non-coiners, and you know, it'll work itself out. It's not that difficult. We don't have to overthink it. I like to apply the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's complicated enough, right?
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, it's funny that you say that with the double income housecom. Now you know exactly why feminism was created. Feminism was created not to get extra taxation, not to get more people into the workforce. No, it was made so that women were going to work because everything was getting too expensive. They make everything too expensive so that both parents need to work. But what is the ramification of that instance? You are no longer raising your own kids. They are raising your kids in their image. So when we were younger, we were still without a lot of this indoctrination. So we were rebellious. Now we get our kids in their school. We have no idea what they're teaching them. We have no idea what they are indoctrinating them with. And now we live in a world where people literally do not know how many pennies are in a dollar.
Right.
I'm not even, and this is literally on university. You could walk on any university in America right now.
Yeah. Those interviews are crazy, just like a box of rocks.
Yeah.
It's insane. They have no comprehension of basic language, basic math, or basic anything. All they know is these gibberish things that we have 300 genders and that I would love to be identified as a typewriter. I recognize that shit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's
So
talk
to that point, go ahead.
Let's talk solutions, because obviously we're in crypto because we believe it outpaces inflation. It, provides an opportunity to protect our power and our sovereign wealth. If you're in DeFi, and so obviously I think crypto is a big part of it. I think we need to make dads great again. I think they've taken that out of the equation. You know what I mean? They, they want to suppress the man and suppress the dads. But, if you look at all these situations in any inner city situation where there's, whether it's the African Americans to just whites, the Hispanics, if there's a family problem, it's probably because there's not a dad in the house. You know what I mean? So,
facts.
We got to get people where they're financially secure and on a better footing, but we also need to uplift the opportunity for dads to be great.
And then, as far as a solution, like you just got to connect with groups, right? Like you gotta like maybe Facebook, is one of those that you can find good homesteading communities or groups in your local hometown. So even though like you as a parent might not be able to stay at home and do it, there's other groups out there that will welcome your child. Like maybe you bartering is a thing. Maybe you have some canned stuff or what have you that they're looking for, and you work out a deal, you barter. People are still human, and we generally want to help each other. So as far as a solution on the homeschooling, like do some research and find out who's out there doing it and what's available. There's options. There's always options.
I mean, if I'm brutally honest, the only thing you need to learn your kids is reading and writing and calculus. That's it. Nothing more. That's all a kid needs to be learning from the moment he can walk. Everything else it does needs to be motorist skills. Nowadays, we call it child labor. Back then, it's building experience.
Yeah, learn a trade, learn a craft.
Kids are imitators, literally imitators. They will imitate their parents to a T. Yeah. But now we are no longer there to be the example for them, because some numbnut in purple hair is now telling your kids that there are 2,000 genders in the world.
Yeah. And that's collectively, I got to do better as well. Like get the kid off the iPad, right? Like when I'm cranking wrenches or in the garage, have the kid with me in the garage, handing me tools, just the basic stuff, even whether you're in a city environment versus out in the country or a farm, you can still incorporate those things. Changing the light bulb, just whatever, and that in my opinion, it creates gets them to be mechanically inclined to think about the gears. If one's turning this way, the other one's turning that way, type thing. Get the gears in their head spinning in the right direction.
The human body is so complex that it takes 12 years for the human body to develop running. Look at a 10-year-old running and look at a 12-year-old running. The difference is insane. Yeah. It takes so long for the brain to make those physical connections with your muscles to know exactly where their orientation is within space. And what do we do in the current system? We take kids from the moment they're a 4-year-old and put them behind a desk. They can't even throw a tennis ball. Right. You take away all their education, all their upbringing in motorist skills or whatever it takes to actually navigate this realm or be able to defend yourself or take care of yourself because they can't even boil an egg.
Right.
Yeah, home ec. But yeah, just even sports, man. I mean, we can go down to the basics. Like in today's society, sports are great for kids. I mean, to be in academia of whatever capacity that is and incorporate sports, in my opinion, is a win-win of building a good person, human being. Keeps them out of trouble, keeps them disciplined and focused on tasks. And that can be whether it's homeschool or out in the public or private sector, whatever. But sports are a big thing, and they help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
the origin of sports was completely different back then. Now it's to beat each other's head in, to be divided again, because everything revolves about divide and conquer. But if you look back into history, the way sports was done was to hone your skills, but more importantly, to connect villages together, to create connections with one another, trade, business, marriages, all those kind of things all originated from sports.
Yeah. Because look at like the Scottish games, right, where they do like the caber toss, good fun,
village against village, yeah, healthy competition.
I mean, then we go back to having a joisting nights, running full speed at each other, the Coliseum. Warriors, are you not entertained? Type shit. Like we are still human and animals. Like we are Nathaniel. Yes, we do like to beat the shit out of each other still, and we find it entertaining. Look at the UFC, boxing, all that stuff.
But we did that shit in school as well. It's normal to be in a guy. Let's go being a guy. Come on.
For sure.
Yeah, let's hope that this whole crypto thing is actually capable of, one, aligning all together, and two, give us the financial freedom that we need to actually start building, because it's not cheap to build your own self-sustainability. I mean, we all know that it's going to take a lot of money, but as long as we all align and we all speak it into existence, the same way everything that came before us started from one person and then connecting to another one and then connecting to another one. And the more people start talking about it, the more you speak it into existence in the universe. And before you know it, like we are now talking about different topics, probably within the next couple of hours or tomorrow, you will see connections, people calling you with the same IDs. It's how the universe works. We are way more powerful than we think.
Yeah, definitely. No, you put it out there, what you project, it's a vibe, it's a frequency, people pick up on it, the whole 9 yards. I definitely believe in that regard for sure. If I wanted to pick your brain, Vibra, like you've always been the man on the outside of the ecosystem. So XRP, HBAR, like obviously you've called those out long time ago. Ripple, all that beautiful stuff. Now, question is, like, there's always different thoughts and theories. Some are thinking, because the government just moved some Bitcoin into Coinbase, that maybe they're the ones, maybe starting to buy up, one of the two or the three, maybe Link, maybe HBAR, what have you. Could it also be a head fake? Maybe they're putting out there that they want XRP to be the main one, but maybe Link or HBAR ends up being, or maybe a combination, a hybrid. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they're all going to play a part, right? We're going to see an entire revamp of the financial system. I think the whole point of Bitcoin, this currency of the people, I think it was all just a narrative that came straight from the NSA, where David Schwartz worked, and other So the Satoshi story, bro, it's just too coincidental. Like, he was this smart of a guy. He had everything planned out. He disappeared perfectly, but he didn't think when the network clogs up, what happens? Like, come on, like, I don't know. I don't buy it. And I think all Stellar and HBAR and XRP and Flare, I mean, shit, HBAR just released a tweet that they're partnering with SpaceX to do a bunch of their stuff moving forward. And it's like all these coins were suppressed last cycle because the XRP lawsuit really did kill the momentum for Stellar and Ripple, but it was all on purpose to buy time, suppress the prices. I mean, if you look, I think there's less than 1.2 billion XRP are in the hands of retail. So that's literally 1%. So the other 99% is with where it needs to be. They don't care about making 1% of the people rich. That's not the point. You're going to have to do that at some point to roll this stuff out. And I think all these coins are pumping because they actually have utility. Like Stronghold and the altcoins on Stellar, they are payment solutions, peer-to-peer, super fast. When you go to a gas station, instead of paying in cash, whatever, you just take your phone, boop, right there, scan it, I'm out of here. And that's coming. That's Stellar. So that they have that on lock. HBAR is supply chains. Like, I make a chapstick. I want to know where every ingredient was, where it was made, and tracked all along. All right, that's HBAR. So Ripple is cross-border payments and taking over tokenizing assets, real-world assets. They all play their little part of this new system. And Larry Fink has been saying it for 2 years now. Tokenization of assets. Tokenization of assets is the future, but it seems like no one's fucking paying attention. And he's telling you right there, this is the future. And when they're telling you $30 trillion are going to be on chain in 5 years, I mean, are people lying about this shit? All the partnerships, all the companies telling you we're doing this, we are tokenizing all of our stuff and bringing it onto the blockchain. So it's coming. And to me, it was like, if you're here every day doing the research at the stuff that is groundbreaking, you can look at gaming and stuff. And like AI is, I don't think anyone can predict where that's going. But with the other stuff I just mentioned, it was kind of obvious if you looked at it. And I think the last cycle, we would have seen all these coins do phenomenal, but it wasn't ready for them to come out because they're going to kill all the other shit coins out here. And last cycle, with Luna and all the garbage, I think they wanted to create the narrative that crypto bad, crypto's for criminals. And then they ran with it during the bear market. They suppressed the shit out of it. And now, what do you know? It's the greatest thing ever. Everyone's talking about XRP now. And it's just so funny to me that no one saw this coming, but everyone did. They're just giving an excuse why they fucked up, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, why did I sell my Bitcoin? You always hear that story. Only if I would have held on to it, well, that is the thing, right? And then as far as love, like Link as well, Chainlink. So it'll be interesting. It's been out there, and like you said, and some people have taken notice and have acquired, a little bit here or there. A lot of people right now are wishing they had more, obviously, the usual sediments and whatnot. But so it goes. But nonetheless, reeling it back into, like Pulsechain and Ethereum and whatnot, like, if you've been here for a hot minute, you're doing good. Like, you probably have a bag of this or that. And if you just know how to hodl, and not, just keep your head down and know what you hold. Like, don't believe the FUD and people like on streaming and telling you weird, crazy shit. Like, know what you hold. Believe in what you believe. Stay true to your convictions. Start studying on what you're going to do. How are you going to off ramp? Okay, you make all this money, supposedly. Well, so what's your exit strategy? How are you bridging that out of Pulsechain into your bank account? Because it ain't real money until it's in your bank account. And even then, it's like ones and zeros, but still, you get what I'm saying. So educate yourself. Vibra touched on it. He's got great programs and great insight and whatnot. CRTs, charitable remainder trusts, are a great avenue, but creating a business entity, create that LLC, because for the most part, you don't want to off ramp your money into your personal name, into your personal account. You want it to go into a business account, and then from there, which means you got to create a corporation. Then you need to open up a bank account in the name of that corporation or LLC, and you got to keep it all streamlined. You can't go into your personal account, then go into your CRT, your charitable remainder trust. Like, it's got to be seamless all the way through. So, like, start setting your stuff up now. Would be my 2 cents.
And I think too, bro, that I think this whole narrative of what are we going to do? It's going to be a complete different story when people realize Richard's wallet is coming out. He's going to incentivize stable coins be earning in the bear market. That is the biggest problem, is people leaving the ecosystem. If everyone would stay here, we wouldn't have a huge bear market. So I think he learned a lot from this last bear market, and just stuff with like Bank Social that I've been talking about for a year and a half now, where it's a decentralized credit union where instead of holding your cryptos on a ledger, you can put them into their accounts there, and they're insured. So It's like, do you want, and that's where the future is going, where Coinbase is going to be a neobank, where you're going to be able to hold your crypto and your bank account, all of it right in one. Coinbase is literally building a WeChat alternative right now.
Nice.
That they're that want to put in their wallet, where you can literally spend your crypto right out of there. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm not really that worried about it, but when you do take profit, it has to be an LLC or something like that. You do not want to just go put it in your bank account. You're gonna draw red flags. You're gonna end up getting audited, or something stupid is gonna happen.
And when you go to set it up, you don't have to, say, hey, I'm setting this up for crypto. You're buying property, whatever, like you're doing real estate, whatever, man. But, it's going to be a lot more relaxed. It's not like it was. I'm still a little, scarred from a few years ago, I guess. Yeah. But it's not as bad anymore, thank God. But yeah, still. Just be smart and cautious. You don't have to disclose everything, every little aspect, okay? And the other part of that is privacy. So trying to maintain your privacy. They're always trying to take it away from us in every different aspect, believe me. But yeah.
I like what Two Fucks and Fast Abdul is talking about as far as the stablecoin pools here in the future, especially for the bear market. I mean, just imagine the Pulsechain and Titanx community and crypto as a whole finding out that they don't need to just off ramp everything. They could just get into a stablecoin pool that's paying like 30%.
Yeah,
I mean, that's massive,
And that's a big. I think that I think that needs to be highlighted. Like when I say like work on your off ramp, like to your point, like you got to figure out your percentage, right? Like what do you need to get by now, and what can you leave in to continue to grow and earn you yield, right? Like we talk about passive income. Well, like Two Fucks and whatnot are those things that you can go and park some stables and earn during the next bear. And then when you think you're at the low, you pull it out, you buy into the things you want to speculate on, and ride them back up again, rinse and repeat. So figure out what works for you.
Saucer Swap on Hedera, they have a sick USDC pool on there. They have the regular one on Hedera, and then the bridged in version, and it's like up to 12% if you held the NFTs. So I'm going to be going hard into that pool this bear market, and they're gonna. I think people realize the problem and the solutions are there, and we're just like so used to being in this like negative mindset of crypto is never going anywhere. They hate it. That's like, it's switching right now. Like that change of the guard where everyone's going to be crypto good, crypto money, crypto pump. That's where they want people, because how else are you going to issue like a CBDC or digital dollar, whatever the hell they have planned? You have to get people salivating over crypto. And when I go around still in the public, I mean, nobody knows outside of Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum. 1 out of 100 people would even know about XRP, or forget it, even Pulsechain. Talking about 1 of 1,000, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you brought up a good point too. With how do you think XRP is? You think they're going to get an ETF? You're seeing the alignment with BlackRock and the tokenization of all assets. I mean, I don't think we can even fathom how much that tokenization of all assets will do to even the obscure cryptos, as far as the liquidity pools being bonded together. I mean, it just seems so ridiculous to think like $37 trillion. Good God, dude. That's just freaking crazy, dude.
Yeah. And so when that happens, right, and say over the next year, $500 million moves on to, I mean, Stellar already has that much on there, but say XRP, you know, they start tokenizing real estate or something, and Dubai puts everything on the XRP ledger, and they have $1 trillion now. That value is never leaving the blockchain. So how's the price just going to tank 90%? It's going to go up in stair steps, I think, moving forward. And we're going to start to see a different market, man. I really think so. And I think all this stuff, I mean, people have been saying it the last couple of months. We need utility. There has to be utility again. CZ just said Binance, you know, meme coins, you know, something's got to change. This is too much. This is not crypto. So the shift is happening, and I think you're seeing the fear in the projects that know they have no future. They're going to be out here screaming and fighting everybody so they can get their last penny of this cycle, because this is going to be the cleansing, I think, next year, of when stuff with no utility will die and stuff that has a community, has a use case.
Wallet, yeah, I think that's. Yeah, no, yes, I think a lot of people need to be caught or, you know, captured and maintained in the ecosystem, to your point about the RH wallet and stables and whatnot. And it's just too smart. I mean, you start thinking about it a little further down the road, and you're like, it just makes sense. Yeah, looking forward to it. In my opinion, it'd be nice for people that maybe sacrifice for Pulsechain, you know, however the wallet or the tokenization of the wallet's going to look. I mean, there's going to be something behind it. It's not going to just be you know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he takes some ideas from Time, right, or from the internet money wallet idea or something, or makes it his own, or, you know, who knows. It's gonna be a good one. Looking forward to when that one comes around. It's probably already built, right? It's just timing. Just like with Pulsex and the features, he's just waiting for timings and to release upgrades, and that's all they've been cooking. You know, just building these things. You don't think they have a V3 ready to go in the background that they've been testing and have ready to go whenever they want to do a V 2.3 or whatever, 1.3, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Yep. It'll be good.
And it's funny because people said, "Oh, I will never ever sacrifice again for a Richard Hart project." I guarantee you, in 6 months, you take that poll, 90% of people will just be giving their money away for the next sacrifice. Watch how fast that sentiment changes.
Only if there's a cap. There needs to be a fucking cap this time. I think a lot of lessons were learned, right? $1 billion fucking wallet needs to be created here. Okay. I think some lessons were learned.
Well, with the wallet though, he doesn't. It's not like a coin where he's got to control the whole supply.
Yeah. It's your. This is true.
And it's still to be seen if it was a bad choice or not.
This is true. I
mean, now we are thinking, man, what if he didn't kept it? What if we had less supply? What if? But in 3 months from now, he can change the game, and everybody is like, oh my God, how did I not see this coming? It happens every single time. So, yeah, at some point, you got to have faith, you got to trust, you got to believe. And we've been doing it for so long now within the Richard Hart ecosystem. It's just, we are pretty much already solidified. We already have critical mass. We already have the liquidity. We already have the market cap. We have the community. All we need to do now is just align and freaking go. There's more than enough to go around. Just like what Vets in Crypto is saying, there's so much money and so much people that is going to flood into crypto again.
Yeah.
And probably bigger than we have ever seen before, because I truly believe we are close to getting to that hockey stick adoption, and we aren't even left the station yet. People think that everybody's already in crypto. Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
I've seen this technology come.
We're at what, 6% now? We were at 4 or 5 a year or two ago. Maybe we're at 6.
How many wallets do you have? How many wallets do you have?
Right? Yeah.
20, 25,
Yeah.
like 30
so
maybe.
cut that number by like 3.5 to 4 at least. Everyone
Yeah.
has 5 to 10 wallets, so
Yeah.
that number is way less.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how many people are in DeFi? You know, you talk
Yeah.
about,
True
5%.
DeFi.
Yeah, true
That is
DeFi.
a-
So you talk about 5%, 4% could be on like, sexes and central exchanges, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a
If you look at
minuscule
any
amount.
adoption from any technology previously, it takes about 2 decades to get adoption.
Yeah.
Even the mobile phone or the credit card or whatever new form of technology we get, it takes about 2 decades to get adoption.
Yeah.
We are now close to
Makes
getting
sense.
into 2
That's
decades
exactly.
into crypto. Yeah.
Guess what? Ripple first came out and started working on payments in 2004. Way before Bitcoin even launched. So we're the 20th anniversary now of when Ripple
There you
officially
go.
started working on payments.
Yep.
And then David Schwartz came from the NSA and then built the XRP ledger with Jed McCaleb, who's now partnered with Elon launching rockets. So it's like this shit is all like, it's either a coincidence or the shit is all planned out and the breadcrumbs are there and it's on you to find it and put the work in. And we've nailed all the blue chips that are running. Everyone is shocked. We're not at all. With PDI, Atropa, PTGC, UFO. I mean, there's 500, 500, and 1,000 X right there.
Yes.
And then Anki and Alien running like crazy. I mean, we've smashed so many 100Xs that sitting in the core 4, man. I feel bad for those people.
Correct.
Yeah. And
true.
God bless, this needs to happen, and is happening, at least in the United States, is that we're bringing that offshore money back into the United States. Like, what a fucking 180. And thank God. Now, to Crypto Neptune's question, as far as hearing rumors, the rumor, that I understand it is only U.S. based. So now you go from being sued and a security if you were a U.S. based crypto to now you could potentially have no capital gain if you're a home based token.
You know what this tells you?
Fuck,
This
bro.
tells you exactly what you need to know. They own a shit ton of it. They don't want to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
Are we getting real? The only reason why this shit comes is because they have a shit ton of it. And they try to cut you out of your
I
bag
never even
while
thought of
they
that.
accumulate.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Why do you think Jamie Dimon's up there lying to fucking Congress that he hates crypto and Bitcoin's the devil?
Exactly.
And he's fucking building infrastructure in the back and buying this shit. And lo and behold, hey, we have a system in place.
It's word magic.
Oh,
He's a word magician, bro. He always said,
Never tips his
if
hand.
I was the government, I would ban it. If I was the government, I wouldn't. Like, he never said him
I'm
personally.
the free
He's such a
market
little snake.
private. Yeah.
So it's gonna happen. We probably will not have to pay taxes on that shit. They own too much of it, and they want to own all of it because they need it as control again. At the end of the day, all they thrive to is control. We can do whatever we want as long as they control the majority. That's all they need.
Which goes back to some of Richard's, we all always, I'm sacrificing for freedom of speech and freedom of movement, right? No, he was spot on with that. You know what I mean? He saw ahead of the curve. He saw what was coming. He already knew it was there. I mean,
like always, 5D, 9D chess with that guy, Like, shit.
So exciting
times.
Yeah. Exciting times ahead of us, man.
Yes. Hell yeah. Looking forward to it. And and that's the whole premise, of like this, and community, and again, we always bring it back to in real life meetups and like go out there and meet people in person, Get to know a person's character, their personality. It'll go a long way when you're in these Telegram chats and everyone's fucking typing, and you
Right.
understand. You can hear their inflection in their voice, right? You understand the context. How their demeanor, what they mean, and not get offended by it, type thing. So it's the little things that help. Or a voice message. Leave a fucking voice message. I mean that's
Right.
you can garner a lot from hearing somebody talk, but these
Fact.
days of people hiding behind these pictures and talking fucking shit, you can go fuck yourself. But yeah, man.
I'll second that. Yeah.
Fuck you. Anyway,
Hey, so I want to ask both Facing and Vibra here as some some wrapping up closing type statements. What are you guys kind of getting excited for? Obviously, there's a lot to be excited for, but what in particular is kind of jumping out at you as far as the crypto space that's getting you excited? We'll start with you, Vibra.
Honestly, everything. I mean, that right now is validation that the research and this past bear market, spending hours and hours and hours just watching videos that Stellar Development Foundation puts out that gets like 17 views, and I'm one of the people that watches them, and I think it's paid off, and I can't wait to see once stablecoin legislation is out. I know Ripple's stablecoin comes out tomorrow. That's going to be a flood of liquidity onto the XRP ledger, and when they have legislation out, I think you're going to see the banks magically saying, wow, we own XRP and we have a lot of Ripple stablecoins too. So
that goes to that point where a lot of people hypothesize that, like, overnight, to your point, like the value of XRP is going to go from dollars to thousands, or I don't know, or to hundreds. I don't know. It's going to be a big jump. A lot of people surmise just because of that fact that you bring up, but.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll do a shot. Or if they would do it gradual.
It'll be levels. I think like we just saw now from 40 cents to 250. Like how it just like shot up like that, and then we'll probably go up to like $5, then $8, and then honestly
significant jumps.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's gonna all be reflective of the volume on chain and how much money has to get moved around. Like that's what people don't understand when the retail is going to bring the price to $4, maybe. Once we get past there, that tells me, okay, something is going on outside of our control in retail. And that's when I think you're going to start to see it really move.
And confidence, right? Like, so once it gets in there and the confidence of the system grows and there's no, issues or God forbid hacks or something, then it's off to the races. So.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Facing?
I'm
jacked.
actually the most excited about having Richard Hart bring regulative clarity to the whole of crypto space. Have everybody in crypto realize that it was actually building pure DeFi, but most of all, anonymity. I don't think people are realizing that what he's trying to achieve with Pulsechain is that privacy, because he was always really clear about the only way capitalism can work within a market structure is when nobody knows what the other man is paying, what he's getting for his services or whatever it is. So the only way that could work is with a completely anonymous chain that is completely decentralized. You are the only one in control. I would love to see him be the guy that gets regulatory clarity, shows the world what is actually capable if we all put our minds together, and how powerful a community can be if we all just believe, like he said from day one. And then for all these communities that are now so thriving the way they are, like the Titan X community, the Pulsechain community, and even the XRP community, if they could just all align together, understanding that there is so much coming in that could overfill everybody's bucket, like literally, why are we now fighting together for a piece of pie that is going to grow exponentially in the upcoming years.
Okay, 100%, man.
I'm ready for the change. Yeah, let's freaking send it.
Let's send it.
Yeah. That's going to be an awesome time in like, I would say within 6 months, where we'll be able to, like, even MetaMask or these wallets, you'll be able to go cross chain like inside of them. So instead of everyone being on isolated like islands, it'll help bring everyone together. Just like when Pulsechain or Titan X and the ecosystem hopefully starts migrating to Pulsechain, it'll bring more people together instead of like this bullshit that's happening right now. People are jealous or mad or whatever the case is.
Moving. Yeah, I ain't got time for that shit, you know.
Right.
You gotta go. You know. But hey, one last thing I want to get guys' opinion on. You know, I'm a fan of Dragon X, but Hydra. Do you guys think Hydra's a sleeper out there? You know, some people are building on it and whatnot. What say you guys?
I mean, I'm excited.
I love it, bro.
That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I'm bullish on that one, and definitely get some stakes in there and get it cooking. And
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same as all the other things that we took part of. The same thing happened with Hex in the beginning. Nobody could understand the inflation. Nobody could. And by the time they actually understood what was going on, the market already priced it in.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be the mid-curver like they always say. This is not going to be any different. It's exactly the same. It takes time for people to price in the price of what it's actually worth. And it's always delayed. And by the time they figure out, it's too late. Look at Dragon X. I mean, Marco the Hexagon was screaming it from the rooftops. You can buy a dolphin position for less than 10K, or even a whale or a shark position for less than 10K. Nobody listened. And then Dragon X does a 30X. And all of a sudden, everybody's an expert and wants to be a dolphin. Yeah, that ship has sailed, my friend.
Yeah.
So this is going to be exactly the same. Same as Morpheus. Morpheus is going to do exactly the same. I have no doubt in my mind that it will perform extremely well, just based off the community and the belief that we all have together. And as long as we can align our thoughts and our projections, because that's what they all do, they project their nonsense on top of you. Now it's time for us to start projecting our belief system on top of everybody else, because clearly theirs ain't working.
Yeah. So we'll put out there and be like, it'd be good idea if you hold, 1 billion of this token, or maybe 100 T shares, of Hex, what have you. Morpheus wise, if you were to say like, hey, like half, 500 million or 1 billion would be a good number a goal, just a goal for somebody to work towards. What would be your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's the same as every other. I think we've learned from Hex that if you were a dolphin, you did well. If you were a squid, even then you did well. Even turtles made a shit ton of money in Hex. So if that's the same throughout most ecosystem, which it is, owning 0.01% of the supply should be capable of making you a millionaire in 2 cycles. Just 0.01% of the supply. You don't have to have really big bags to make it in this game. You just got to be patient and take the time.
Time in the market.
Exactly. So depending on how quick you want to achieve your goals and the number associated with it, you will take yourself on that risk curve.
Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. Now, do you guys have a chart?
I would say
not financially.
That's cool, but that's a good strategy. But you want to try to be in early and grab 1%. That should be your goal for every project you get into.
I agree.
I agree.
Like that, like
unfortunately,
and if you're late,
for 99%,
then you DCA in. And that's okay to let some ships sail. Don't chase them. There will be more opportunities to come into early, and you got to just find them. You got to put the work in. You can't rely on people to just point out oh, go on Twitter, log in, and just find the next 50x sitting there. It don't work like that.
Right.
And I would try to, that's my goal for everything is I want 1% of every of the project. And some of them I have, some of them I'm never going to get there, but that's a good goal.
That key word though, DCA, man. I mean, dollar cost averaging, just it speaks for itself. I'm a believer. It's what I do. So on the average,
I can tell you DCA is incredible. Like Sologenics, I've talked about it for years now. And I bought my last bag in September at 7 cents. And I remember buying it. I was like, wow, like this, why am I even buying this? I know this is going to do nothing for months. Like I'm just literally throwing money away right now. That's the feeling you have to have in crypto. That is the stuff that will produce the most money. When shit's pumping and everyone's calling you about this and that, your exit liquidity at that point. Like you need to be buying shit when you're telling yourself, why am I buying this? This is probably not going to move or no one's talking about this. That's the most opportunity. And all the coins that I've felt that way about have mooned.
Facts on facts. Yeah, I agree. If you have the ability to own 1%, I completely agree. You will literally set yourself alive. Could there be a dot in there? Yeah. We have blanks all around. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. If you're capable of getting 1% of the supply, if you're in that position, it's almost a no-brainer.
And hopefully you win more than you lose, right? Like we all have scars. We've all had losses, right? It's part of the game. The things you learn, you take away. It's why we're here, sharing our thoughts and opinions as well,
And at the end of the day, it's like they always say, it's a liquidity game.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you have within crypto, the more you need to be diversified to even have the liquidity to get out of it. If you have all your economic energy in one coin with set liquidity, not everybody is capable to exit 100%. But if you diversify yourself over 10 coins and you have 10 different liquidity pools to drain from, this is what big whales need to do. This is why you see big whales just dumping $1 million into something, because it's literally the only way they have an ability to actually exit that liquidity.
Yeah, hence the God whale. Spreading it out, you know what I mean? Spreading it out.
Yep.
Keeping a lot of stuff on Ethereum for reasons that, sometimes you scratch your head and you're like, oh, if he thought, Pulsechain was all that great. Well, no, he's diversified. He's spread out. He's in a very thick liquidity pool with Ethereum, so it makes plenty of sense. But, as always, tee it up, brother.
I don't want to go down the roll. I know we want to keep it an hour and all this, but since the God whale got brought up,
all right.
I just can't help to think, like, was it intentional to sink E-Hex by giving it to Bank X? Like, what was what was in the mind? Did he fat finger it? Was it a mistake? Was it on purpose? Is Godwell RH? Like, all these things come to one's head to, put the tinfoil hat on and speculate on. I don't know, but it happened.
I don't think it's RH.
No,
Richard would never make that mistake.
Yeah. And I'm
if
pretty
sure. Think of it as a mistake, then yes. But if you would see it as a chess move, then it could be a different story.
Again,
what if he? We could all speculate on why, but you could say as a chess player, diversion is everything. Yeah. So to achieve something, you need to create a diversion. So as long as he creates that diversion, everybody thinks it's that. Nobody's paying attention to Pulsechain. He gets all the time in the world.
Or any of that,
Exactly. He can do all his things, build his foundation. Nobody's noticing it. He's building a complete different theme park that is pretty much a paste copy of another theme park, but nobody knows this exists. Well, he still has one big-ass neon sign in that old theme park called Ethereum, where it's E-Hex, and all he has to do is light that motherfucker up, and everybody would go like, wait, that's shiny. And then he will go, you know what? I got a way more shinier one than that over here.
Yep.
That's how I think it's going to play out.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I'm done.
They got to be 101. They got to be 1-to-1 for the whole system to work. And regardless of what happened there, I mean, Maria is now the biggest holder, the 414 wallet of eHex. So,
yeah.
Is that a good or a bad thing? Was that on purpose? Yeah, and that's for a reason. Like this whole Atropa ecosystem, PDI, in order for everything to work, PDI goes to $1. Both hexes peg or 1-to-1. They're at parity, and then from there we see Inc at $100-something, and just crazy numbers. And people don't think it's possible, but Richard is gonna. I don't know if it'll be Richard first or it'll be XRP that make people say, "Holy shit, market cap can't be real." Like it's gonna be one of those two that
really
changes the metric where people realize it.
Oh my god, can't wait.
This time next year. This time next year.
Yep. Let's mark this day. We'll circle back on this day.
Yep.
Yeah, keep ourselves accountable. Love it.
Yep. Well, as always, I appreciate you guys coming on. For everyone at home, the next 12 months, to your point, are going to be exciting times. The train's leaving the station if it hasn't already started chugging along. So get your bags and get on the ride because it's going to get exciting. You guys always bring a lot of insight, Adam and Facey, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing and building and continuing to support the community. Appreciate it. Much love. With that being said, I'm going to drop you guys down. We got ourselves Stacked Italian coming on tomorrow. A guy who is by the name of Chris. He's building Stack Italian. It's on Pulsechain. It's going to be a really cool conversation. Let me just toss up this video here real quick.
It's the king of memes, yeah, he's the one. From the hex to the pulse under the crypto sun. Body dreams in a world so bright. In the land of Pooie, where everything's right. Hoorah, let's scream it out loud to the king of memes. Make your mama proud. Hoorah, in the land of Pooie, where the throne's royal and the crypto's groovy. Rip City hex fed of the scene. Randy's got the vision, know what I mean? Crypto compassion, heart of gold in the land of Pooie. Watch the story unfold. From E4 to the Pulsechain wave. They paved the way, now crypto's saved. Each one a king in this meme paradise in the land of Pooie. It's the king of memes, yeah, he's the one. From the hex to the pulse under the crypto sun. Body dreams in a world so bright. In the land of Pooie, where everything's right. Hoorah, let's scream it out loud for the king of memes. Make your mama proud. Hoorah, in the land of Pooie, where the throne's royal and the crypto's groovy.
All right, you guys, thanks for tuning into the shit show. Thank you, Vibra. Thank you, Facing Reality. Like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Chris with the Stacked Italian. All right, you guys, have a goodie. Peace.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne.
It's Richard Hart, rumored billionaire and bidet service technician. I'm here to install your bidet, sir.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G.
Here we go. Look at that technology right there. It's going to wash your butt, and your butt's going to be clean. Let's get to work. Woo! Ooh, doggy. Wow, this thing actually works great. Well, anyway, Richard Hart here, rumored to be a billionaire, installing a bidet for someone that I love. And, it seems to work just fine. It only costs $100, and well, I don't see any leaks. So, clean butts for everybody.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to